gather here in Washington for the NATO summit, we're learning about a foiled assassination plot overseas.
Yeah, this is like something out of a spy novel. A new CNN exclusive report details an alleged Russian plan to murder the CEO of an arms company that's been supplying weapons to Ukraine. CNN's Natasha Bertrand helped break this story and joins us now with the detail. She joins us from the NATO summit, I should point out. Natasha, what are you learning?
Yeah, Boris, so this was a plot that the U.S. intelligence community uncovered regarding a Russian government plan to try to assassinate the head of Germany's largest defense contractor, which has been extremely helpful in providing weaponry and equipment to the Ukrainians, particularly when it comes to 155 millimeter ammunition, which is so key on the battlefield in Ukraine. And the CEO of that company has been extremely outspoken about his support for the Ukraine and the fact that he intends to open factories inside Ukraine itself to build more equipment, including armored vehicles. So all of this really made him a really important and key target for the Russians, we're told. And the U.S. picked up this intelligence and promptly shared it, of course, with the German government, who then added additional security around the CEO, Armin Pappberger. And right now, he is still surrounded by this increased security bubble in light of this ongoing Russian threat. So this was one plot that was disrupted. But U.S. officials say that it is not the only one that they have picked up amongst Russian officials planning to try to assassinate or harm in some way European defense industry executives because of the fact, of course, that they are providing so much support for the Ukrainians and the Ukrainian military. Now, at this point, what we're hearing from NATO leaders who have been asked really about this left and right today is that, they are not going to comment on this specific report, but we did get some insight from the German foreign minister earlier today, who said that this is an exact example of Russia's, quote, hybrid war of aggression against Europe, and why Europe needs to be very vigilant at this point amid this broader Russian sabotage campaign that they believe Moscow is waging to try to undermine support for Ukraine. We also heard from a senior NATO official who put it in pretty stark terms. He said, we're seeing sabotage, we're seeing assassination plots, we're seeing arson, we're seeing things that have a cost in human lives. And he added, I believe very much that we're seeing a campaign of covert sabotage activities from Russia that have strategic consequences. Now, we also reported earlier this week that U.S. military bases across Europe were placed on a high alert, really for the first time in over a decade, just last week because of this threat of Russian sabotage. So it is very real, it is deeply concerning, and it has been top of mind here at NATO over the last several days.
And Natasha, what are NATO's options for responding to this kind of move by Russia?
It's really tough because right now this kind of falls just below the level of direct armed conflict, state-on-state violence, of course, from Russia directly attacking a member of NATO or European country directly. These assassination plots are something that Russia has done before, of course. We've seen them carry them out on European soil, including in England a few years ago. So it's difficult for NATO to kind of come up with a solution to this, short of sanctions, for example, or additional economic penalties. But strategically, what they're thinking about right now is just really increased intelligence sharing among the alliance so that they can get everyone together on the same page to kind of connect the dots and prevent these plots from actually being successful in the future.
Natasha Bertrand, live from the NATO summit. Thank you so much. Stay with CNN. We're back.